Welcome to Chris Cook for YouTube. Today I'm going to do a recipe that a lot of my fans have asked me about. It's a very simple recipe, so easy and so quick. It's called shrimp and grits. So let's get started with the ingredients that you're going to need in order to make this dish. You're going to need, of course, shrimp. You're going to need grits. I'm using the 5-minute grits. You can use the old-fashioned ones if you like. Butter, salt, pepper, and Old Bay seasoning. Now that's all you need to make this dish. It's very fast, but I think that you will truly enjoy it if you try it. So I'm going to go ahead and get my shrimps peeled and get them all ready to be fried up, and I'll meet you at the stove. Be right back. Now I'm at the stove and I have seasoned my shrimp and they're sitting here. First I paper towel patted them dry, and then I added just some salt and some Old Bay and some pepper, but you can put whatever it is that you like on yours. So I'm going to saute them in the back skillet. I have a piece of butter that's melting in there. In the front, I've already started my water for my grits. The ratio for grits to water is going to be for every 2 cups of water, you're going to use 3/4 cups of grits. So I've added some salt to that water, and I'm going to go ahead and put in my grits. And you have to constantly stir grits, because if you don't constantly stir them, grits has a tendency to pop. And when they pop kind of hard. So you don't want that to happen. And it's kind of, it's very hot. When it touches your body, it's very hot. So you want to kind of stir them just a little bit. You don't want them to stick. And then you can put a top on it, but you have to come back and continuously stir. And don't worry about it if you see like those little bitty black darkened specks. That's just part of the grits. So I'm going to go ahead and sit this top down on there for a minute while I put the shrimp in the back skillet. Now, if you want to add cheese, I'll show you at what point you would actually add the cheese to your grits, but you wouldn't add them right now. And you know that it only takes shrimp maybe 5 to 6 minutes to cook, and you just cook them until they are kind of whitish pinkish looking, and then they should be done. Now some people do cook, when they cook shrimp and grits, they do add gravy. I don't necessarily do that, but if that's something that you want to do, then you could just go ahead and do that. You want to mainly cook this with butter, and the reason be is because you want your shrimp to have a buttery taste when you bite into it with the grits. So now these will cook up relatively fast, like this is, but for me there is no 5-minute grits. Okay, even 5-minute grits will take 10 minutes to cook. So you're going to cook them, and just like they have consumed, if you look, they have consumed all of that water. You're going to cook them a little bit more, and then you're going to add some more water, and you're going to cook them. Now, when they boil, they plop boil. And when that bubble bursts, that's when you get that splatter of hot grits. So you want to try to avoid that at all costs. Now, you don't want watery grits. You don't want runny grits. That's why I gave you the ratio. You want your grits to have, you want it to be spoon consistency, really. And you don't want lumps in your grits. So try to avoid that. So now, if you can see, it looks like the grits are done. They're not done. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to add some more water to this. And that's about a 1/2 cup of water that I've added. And this is on a medium heat. You don't need it any higher than that. You want to constantly stir. And grits is one of my favorite meals. I mean, I really do love grits. Now, you don't want to add your cheese. If you're going to add cheese, you don't want to add it until you take it off of the heat. You want your grits to still be hot, but you don't want them to be cooking. So you want to take them off of the heat before you add it. So I'm going to add just a little bit more water. So that'll give me like 2/3 cup. I'm sorry, 3/4 cup of water that I've added. And then I'm going to allow these to go ahead and cook while I am preparing the shrimp. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch burners. I'm going to put this on the back burner. And I'm going to let this go ahead and finish cooking. And at this point, the only thing it's doing is simmering. So I'm going to switch my burner. I'm going to bring my shrimp up. And I'm going to watch my shrimp. Now it's going to take a minute for these shrimp to actually get pink on that side. And then once they get pink, I'll bring it back and show you. I'm going to flip them on the other side and let them get pink. And then we'll put this together. It's a fast dish, but it's a very good dish. So you're going to give those grits, really 5-minute grits. You're going to give them about 15 minutes to really cook and get good like you need them to be, or you would like them to be. As long as that consistency is right when you get ready to spoon it, and I'll show you that. And then we're going to concentrate on these shrimp. So the only thing I'm going to do with the shrimp, see that pink? I'm going to let them get a little bit pinker than that, and then I'm going to flip them. And I'll bring it back when I get ready to do that, while constantly stirring the grits. Okay, now I'm ready to start to flip my shrimp. So I'm going to flip all of my shrimp over, and as you can see, they're starting to turn pink. Got a little bit of crust on some of them, which is exactly the way you need them to be. But you don't want to rubberize them, which means you don't want to cook them until they're rubbery. You just want to get them done. My grits are still on the back. And let your grits slow cook while you are preparing your shrimp, because the longer they cook, the better they're going to taste. And so you don't want to keep it too far past the 5-minute point. You can take it 15 minutes past the 5-minute point, but you don't want to take it any longer than that. In other words, I mean that you can cook this for 15 minutes past 5 minutes. Okay, so on a low simmer, like what that is. See, you want to keep it on a low simmer and just let it go ahead and simmer back there. Don't worry about it, because those grits are going to be fine. Don't worry about it. Concentrate on your shrimp now. And my shrimp is almost ready. And then I'm going to dish this up so you can see how fast and easy was that. Super quick. So I'll be right back when the shrimp get ready. Okay, now I'm done. So I'm going to take my shrimp and my grits, and I'm going to pour them up. I want you to look at the consistency of these grits. See that? They're very hot. But you see the consistency? That's spooning consistency. You don't want watery grits. Watery grits don't taste good. So you want them spooning consistency. Remember the ratio to when you're getting ready to cook this is going to be 2 cups of water and 3/4 cup of grits. You're going to add it to hot salted water, and then you're just going to cook them. And your grits will not come out wrong. So now you take, I have salt in my grits already, and what gave my shrimp the good flavor is going to be that Old Bay. So if you use a little bit of salt, your Old Bay seasoning, and your pepper, you're going to be fine. White pepper is preferable, but if you don't have white pepper, go ahead and use black pepper. So now I'm going to pour up my grits. And you don't want those grits to be sticking to the pot. You don't want them too thick. If they're too thick, you can always water them down a little bit. But if they're too thin, nothing you can do with them. Okay. Now, all of my grits are in. And I love grits. I love them. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add 2 pads of butter down to these grits. There you have it. And then I'm going to go ahead and spread my shrimp around. Now, I cooked them in butter. Why did I cook the shrimp in butter? I cooked the shrimp in butter because I want that buttery flavor. Now, it's at that point where I was showing you how the grits look that you would go ahead and add your cheese if you're going to add some cheese to this, because it's at that point that it's still real hot, and so it will work out really well. Now that looks good, and I'm going to enjoy this. So you got your butter on your shrimp, you got your butter in your grits, you got your salt down on it, you got everything, just a hint of Old Bay. You got everything you needed. There you have it. Chris is making shrimp and grits. Now, I love shrimp and grits, and I'm going to truly enjoy that. Okay, some of my viewers wanted me to really try this form, shrimp and grits. It's been a request for a while. This is a very quick and easy dish. I think that if you try it, you are truly going to enjoy it. And if you love cheese, go ahead and add some cheese at the very end, because that will only make it oh so more flavorful. Now, this is a dish that you can have not only for breakfast, you can have it for lunch, and you can have it for dinner. Very simple to make. If you try it, I truly do feel that you're going to enjoy it. And as always, thank you for watching. Chris Cook for you too. Bye.